Imagine your brand new, gleaming humanoid butler, Atlas 2.0, gliding into your kitchen. Its mission is simple: bake a birthday cake. It has the grace of a ballet dancer and the processing power of a small nation's server farm. Yet, you watch in silent horror as it meticulously picks up the salt shaker and begins to pour it, with sublime precision, into the cake batter. The robot is malfunctioning. Its sensors, its programming, its very purpose have momentarily gone haywire. So, what happens next? In this moment of crisis, what digital ghost in the machine steps in to salvage the situation? Does an alarm bell ring in some far-off control center? Does it simply freeze, a billion-dollar statue covered in flour? Or does something far more interesting happen? The answer isn't a simple if-then statement.
And then, can you believe it? The gremlin tried to pay with a button.
Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support.
It's not a matter of a single line of code that reads, "If pouring salt into cake, then stop." The true salvage operation is a profound act of self-doubt, run by an algorithm that is, in essence, a professional skeptic. Let's meet our hero, Bayesian Inference. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. Think of your malfunctioning robot not as a broken appliance, but as a detective who has just been handed a piece of baffling evidence. The robot's prior belief is that it is performing flawlessly. Its internal monologue says, "I am following the recipe. My optical sensors identified the sugar container, and my manipulators are executing the correct procedure." This is its starting hypothesis, its version of the truth. Then comes the new evidence. Perhaps a simple, connected sensor in the mixing bowl registers an anomalous salinity reading. Or maybe its audio sensors pick up your sharp intake of breath. Or, in a more advanced model, it might even analyze the subtle shift in light refraction in the batter, noticing it doesn't match the expected properties of a sugar solution. This is where the magic of Bayesian inference kicks in. The algorithm doesn't just throw away the old belief. It asks a very shrewd question: what is the probability of this new evidence being true? Given that my original belief is correct, how likely is it that the salinity sensor would spike if I were actually pouring sugar? The probability is extraordinarily low. So, the robot must update its belief. It calculates a posterior probability, a new, revised truth. The algorithm forces the robot to weigh competing hypotheses. Hypothesis A: I am a perfect robot pouring sugar, and all my external sensors have chosen this exact moment to fail simultaneously. Hypothesis B: my initial identification of the sugar container was wrong. A sane machine, like a sane detective, will conclude that hypothesis B is now overwhelmingly more probable. It has just used mathematics to have a moment of doubt, and in doing so, it has saved the cake. This constant, recursive loop of belief, evidence, and updated belief is the bedrock of modern robotics. You see it in the Boston Dynamics robots that seem to defy physics. When one of their machines slips on a patch of ice, it's not just running a pre-programmed slip recovery animation. It is processing thousands of micro-updates a second. Its sensors provide evidence of an unexpected tilt and acceleration. Bayesian logic instantly calculates the most probable limb positions required to restore balance, and it acts. It's a continuous, high-speed argument with itself about the nature of its own reality. But this brings us to the real question, doesn't it? Will this process of salvation always require our oversight? Will a robot that doubts its own actions forever need a human to give it the final nod of approval? To believe that is to fundamentally underestimate the trajectory of this technology. The future of this salvage algorithm is not just about detecting a fault. It is about autonomously correcting it and then learning from it. The next generation of Atlas won't just stop pouring the salt. It will pause, perhaps emit a charmingly apologetic hum, and then use its own manipulators to perform a diagnostic on the salt shaker. It might scan the barcode again, cross-referencing it with a global food database. It might even run a microchemical analysis with a sensor on its fingertip. Having confirmed the error, it will not only discard the ruined batter, but will also update its internal knowledge base, perhaps adding a new visual heuristic to better distinguish between your specific salt and sugar containers. It will have learned permanently. This isn't science fiction. The groundwork is already being laid. Researchers are deep into creating what they call self-healing or self-reconfiguring systems. Imagine a robot on a mission to Mars that experiences a damaged wheel. The old model would be to wait for commands from a NASA engineer millions of miles away. The new model, the Bayesian model, would have the rover autonomously test the limits of its damaged wheel, calculate the most efficient new gaits to compensate for the limp, and then rewrite its own motor control code to make that limp the new standard of walking. So, when a future robot malfunctions, will the salvage algorithm be automated? That's like asking if a calculator will automate arithmetic. It is the entire point. The more profound question is, what does it mean when a machine's primary survival instinct is a logical framework for self-correction? What happens when your humanoid companion not only saves the cake, but also recalibrates the thermostat because it has calculated a 0.02% energy inefficiency, and then orders a new brand of coffee because its analysis of your biometrics suggests you are overcaffeinated? The algorithm of salvation is not just a safety net. It is a seed of autonomy. It turns a machine from a thing that follows instructions into an entity that refines its own understanding of the world. And as these systems become more integrated, their capacity for self-correction will become something that looks less like programming and more like intelligence. The day is coming when a robot will malfunction, and its solution won't be in its pre-written code, but in a decision it makes, a new idea born from a storm of probabilities. On that day, we will have to ask ourselves, did the robot just salvage the situation, or did it just take its first real step on its own?
So that is it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Let's continue this conversation in the comments below. If you like the video, please hit the bell icon to get notified, and don't forget to like with your friends, share, and subscribe for more insights. If you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support. It means a lot to me. And please consider signing up for membership zone to support Wooden Slate so that we can make it better and better. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Take care and stay safe.